Lord, thank you for letting us gather here once again to express our ideas, thoughts, feelings, all that good stuff. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for everything you do for us. Thank you for all these great people. I know I've talked about it before, but I can't harp on how much I appreciate my friends and family that you have gifted me with over the years and how they influence my decisions. And it could have only been divine. So thank you for all that, Lord. Thank you for all that you continue to do. Thank you for giving us the ability to be forgiven for our sins. And in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
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 What is up, guys, and welcome back to the Skeptics Podcast. This is episode
48.
48, guys.
Yep.
Getting close to 50.
5-0.
Big 5-0. Don't know who we're going to have on. Hopefully we can have somebody on. Just a random guy off the streets. Even get that guy on here. Show him some Jesus.
Yo. But hope y'all doing well today. We're kicking things off. Yeah, those are right.
Yeah, they're right. I know we just talked about talking about one thing, but I'm thinking we're going to switch it up.
Oh, switch it. Doing it live.
Something that we like to preach on here.
Oh, here we go.
And we ain't preachers.
This will be
I don't
interesting.
think we are. But we love Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's it. Something that I have been thinking about a lot lately, because there's a little bit of revelations on myself.
Oh.
And me and you have been having some good conversations lately.
Yeah.
And it seems that most people seem to find Jesus or some other religion of any nature at the time of the lowest.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like that's when a lot of people really start building the relationship.
Yeah, that's when they want to come around.
Right. So and everybody's journey is different. I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that's wrong. But I will say this. Why is it almost harder to keep that relationship when things get good?
Well, just from my perspective, it's because I think people lose sight. So I think the best way I've thought about it or even heard a few people talk about this is think about it like this. Let's say life's going good. You get you a girlfriend. You get you a good job. You progress in your job. You start doing better. You move up. You make more money. You end up getting married to your girlfriend. Now she's your wife. Y'all buy a house. You get a bunch of property. You have a couple of cars. Like, you're living pretty good. But you forgot that he helped you.
Right.
And so when you start losing that, when you start thinking that you're the one doing it, and he ain't got no hands on it, that's when you start to lose it, I think. Because it's like you start to think, oh, I'm doing this all by myself. I'm the one winning big. I'm riding high on the hog. I don't need help. Or you just completely forget because you think it.
Saying I don't need help is crazy.
But or you just think that it's all you. You think that it's a one-man show.
Right.
Instead of thinking, because it's harder to think this way because it's not as selfish. Like, it's easy to be selfish. It's easy to go, I'm going to care about me, and I'm going to think about me, and I'm not worried about everybody else. And so it's easy when things are good because you don't think you need his help. When in reality, he's been helping the whole time. That's how you got here.
Right, for sure.
And so I think people lose sight of that, and you get to this point where it's like, I earned that car. You start telling yourself that. And you're like, man, I paid that house off. But then you never give thanks.
Right.
And
that's the key to the whole thing, I think.
You lose sight of where to credit these accomplishments. That's what it is. Because what is it? Through Christ I can do all things? Is that this? Yeah. So once you lose that touch, once you start thinking that it's Dylan all by himself, once you take Jesus out the mix, good luck.
No, I agree with you. I think that's the whole key to the thing.
Yeah.
Is people, you get wrapped up, and because you got to find a balance on this, because we kind of talked about this last night.
Yeah.
A lot of people would call me selfish, because a lot of the way that I live my life is I don't try to let other people affect it too much, and that could be a good or a bad thing.
Yeah.
But keeping in mind that the whole time is that Jesus is the one that got you here.
Yeah.
At the ups.
Yeah.
And then when you're at the downs, you got to realize that he's not behind you or in front of you. He's walking beside you the whole time.
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey, one of his best sayings ever, is sometimes one of you is running while the other one's walking.
Mm-hmm.
And just don't get out of sight of the other one.
Yeah.
Because everybody's relationships get wild.
Yeah.
It's not every one of them's going to stay perfect forever.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's going to have problems.
Yeah.
And most people, if they have problems, they end up fixing that problem, sometimes with another problem.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way out of all that problem is Jesus.
Yeah.
To us.
Well, yeah.
And everybody else may have their own opinion on their other thing.
Right, right.
And it's like I have a hard time thinking, you know how we got the whole thing that's like separate church and state and all that other stuff? That's hard to do sometimes because a lot of people's foundations is built off of some sort of religion. Like if like no country was started by a bunch of atheists. It was, I don't think so. It's actually an interesting thought. But most people's thoughts were or fundamentals that they had was from some sort of religion that they used as a set of rules, I guess you could say. So that's the hardest thing I have with that, because it almost, to me, with God in the picture, everything falls back to that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you have to be able to, or at least in our country, because we're the greatest country, you got to be able to have the freedoms for everything.
Right. I don't know. I don't feel it as hard to try and keep that stuff separate, because I think we've covered values before on here, and we can have the same values and want to be good people, but not have the same religious beliefs.
Of course, yeah.
You know, like I've got some family and they're not Christians, and they still want to be good people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
And they try to be good citizens. And how do we, as Christians, base the good and the bad? We base it off of what Jesus Christ did. Yeah,
I do think everybody is born with the reasoning of right and wrong, but I think that is because God gave them that. It's not like,
to me, yeah, that makes sense, and I agree to that. You know,
so it's hard not to bring a lot of things back to the biased, that everybody has, and we try to stay like non-biased on a lot of things here. Right. Because we like to have conversations about a lot of things here, even if it's about different religions. Yeah. We like to have different conversations because I'm just interested in the thinking of other people, that what drives another person. Mm-hmm. So, like all the stuff that we're seeing going on right now, you know, the Nelk boys just had an interview with Netanyahu. Yeah. And everybody's giving the Nelk boys crap for bringing Netanyahu on, and then them not pushing Netanyahu on certain issues. Mm-hmm. I don't know if the Nelk boys are Christians or if they claim to be. I know they do a lot of wild stuff for people their age, but I mean, everybody, you do what you want to do. Right. And then I don't even really know what Netanyahu is. Like, I don't know if he claims to be a Christian or if he claims to be like Judaism, I guess you would call it. Mm-hmm. So everybody's giving the Nelk boys so much crap for bringing this guy on, for him getting to go in there and speak, but I don't really see what the whole bad is about the thing. I'm like, actually they're losing a massive following right now because of that.
Well, I mean, I could tell you why I think that is, but I think what's crazy is, like, I think people are somewhat upset partially because of their stance that they've decided to talk to Netanyahu. Okay.
But does that mean you made a stance, though?
I think some people are going to read that deep into it. It ain't that deep, but that's where they're
Right.
going to take it. But then the other part is, like, the Nelk Boys aren't like a super serious.
No, not at all.
You know what
And
I mean?
And they weren't really.
They're not like a news outlet.
Yeah.
They don't claim to be one. You know what I mean? So that's why. Because I guess you watched it,
Oh, yeah.
and was it pretty chill?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. And so, I think some people are thinking like too much on it. Like, dude, it's not even that serious. They don't even care really that much about politics that I can tell. At least not in that podcast. Like, that's not what that's about for them.
I think it is, but I don't think they care on it so much. That obviously they're coming into this with probably, or they did ask some political questions.
Yeah.
But it's not something they think about every day.
No, I think that's more for them to have fun and like a revenue stream than it is to like truth seeking, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because like they're not going to go on there and just press you on like hard stuff all day to try to get to the bottom line of this, and this. They're going to be like, all right, here's a couple things that we think we want to talk about, and then we're just going to have fun. We're going to wing it. Do whatever. Whatever comes up, we'll talk about it.
You think they should be getting in trouble just because they had them on?
Nah.
I don't think so either.
This is America.
Right.
I mean, party on.
So how do we, in our opinion, as two just normal guys,
Yeah.
how do we decide
Yeah.
what we should and we shouldn't be able to have when it comes to the ability of, let's almost say censorship. That's that's really the only word that you can have.
Yeah.
So it's like Nick Fuentes is getting he's kind of blowing up right now, and he's not allowed on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, they won't let him on YouTube for him saying all kind of random stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't ever see him exciting violence, which would be like, for me, maybe one of the only ones that you should just not be on YouTube. Like, as two Christian guys, I think it's perfectly fine to have the other side argue that Christianity's not the thing.
Right.
Because, it like you said, it's free country.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. But as soon as you start arguing about other topics, it's like you can't talk about that.
Yeah, to a certain, but there is a certain degree of like, where it's no longer like information, it's just opinion. And
Opinion of, like, say, the guest?
well, just the opinion of the topics that they're going to bring to the table, or the stuff that's going to be covered, and things like that. It's more so like that stuff, because that's where they're going to say that stuff is radical. Like, they're making a radical statement.
You got, like, an example?
And so they would say that that's inappropriate to be on YouTube, because it's like it's so far out there that it shouldn't, like, you shouldn't be pushing that.
Do you have, like, an example?
Like,
Like, I'm trying to think of, like, Tucker Carlson and Putin. Like,
here's my example of something that, like, they have banned because it was, like, so crazy. But, like, Kanye said all that controversial stuff before he dropped this new controversial music.
right.
Well, it's got the ability to push a message that people deem to be, like, too far. It's radical.
So who's deeming that, though?
Well, I mean, whoever owns the rights to whatever you put your information on.
So how do we decide if that's right or wrong, though?
for individuals, it's an individual choice. You get to decide whether or not it's okay or not okay for you.
But you think there should be guidelines set though, and how they determine that, like for YouTube,
Federally,
like
you mean like federal guidelines?
well, I mean, I guess I'm saying like guidelines on like anything, like the Hitler song that Kanye came out, and you can't find it on YouTube,
right?
So the question is should that be allowed on YouTube? Because on one side, like, I don't think everybody memed the crap out of the whole song.
Yeah.
I don't know. I doubt it converted anyone to that kind of thought process. Like, I think the public and the knowledge of just everything, and I think social media might have helped with this. Now, obviously, it could stray a whole lot, but we've talked about this on here before, how much stuff I've learned like off YouTube alone.
Yeah.
And some stuff that I've gotten into off of YouTube alone. And I think we have such a surplus of information at this point.
Yeah.
It's like Kanye could drop that song and nobody's going to be like, oh, I think Hitler was legit. Besides the ones that's already full-blown there.
But what if there's a guy on the fence? What if he's like, I don't know, he's consuming content that's on the internet, because the internet as a whole is very like loose cannon, you know what I mean? Like, there's crazy stuff out there, and so we're talking about a small percentage. So let me just make that clear. What I'm talking about is a small piece. Like, but if the general public, most people, you would go and ask on the street, and they're like, "That's crazy." Okay. But there's that percentage of people out there who would be like, maybe he's onto something. So then they start reading into it, right? And what if the stuff that you're reading, though, is fake? It's false information. But there's enough guys producing that information to where it sounds real. Because it's like, oh, well, I sourced this guy, and that guy just made up his own story. And then, well, he was talking to these other guys, and it was just their opinion. They didn't actually have any facts to back up what they had written. But they wrote it, they posted it on the internet, somebody else wrote it, they posted something, and then somebody else used that to make their documentation. And there's a guy out there who, and we've talked about mental health a little bit and stuff, and so that plays a factor. But what if you're not 100% screwed on just right? And you read that and you're like, he's got a point. And then you go down that path. And then it's like, you know what? Well, I do think that they were right.
Well, as long as the path at the end don't incite you to do something radical. And I don't.
But there's people out there who are doing that. I mean, they're pumping out radical information, and they're trying to charge people up.
I think they're going to do that anyways, though. And especially we're getting in a world right now where like we're about to have AI stuff. Like, I saw an AI thing of George Floyd talking, and it looked real when I saw it.
I seen a video of a deer jump up on a trampoline, and
I've seen a bunch of the trampoline videos.
And until he played on the trampoline,
like
when he first just got up there, I thought, and then I was like, oh, never mind.
Yeah, but because then it goes back to the reason why you believe anything, though, is what's the main thing you believe in. Like, I could watch the whole video. I could even jive with the beat.
Yeah.
But there's something inside me, and everybody calls it something different, that's like, that's wrong. But it's not to the point to where it's like.
But what happens when you no longer feel that?
Then you hopefully seek something like that.
Yeah, but what happens when you say, that's okay?
The same answer.
Like, I don't even know how they get to that point, but
I don't either.
But it definitely happens.
I mean, because like the thing with the song is the same statement people try to make with like Grand Theft Auto 6.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could do some wicked thing, or GTA 5. You could do some wicked things in GTA 5. But it's like, that's not censored, really.
Well, I mean, to a degree it was.
Well,
though.
yeah.
You had to be old enough to get it.
But that you're right. But most people didn't obey by that. But yes, you are correct though.
I'm saying, but there are things in place that restrict that content.
Right, but how do you find the wall of restriction? Like, at what point is this like, I don't need to, because like in GTA 5, you literally torture a guy, and it's like, that's tough. I mean that's tough than a guy making a rap song about Hitler. I mean, I'm torturing a individual. So it's how do you regulate the thing? Because it's just like we were talking. The original topic we were going to talk about in this podcast is there's a new game called Ready or Not. It's not new, actually. It's been out forever, but it's just been on PC.
Yeah.
And this game's supposed to be realistic.
Yeah.
I mean, for a SWAT simulator game. And they've had to censor it going from PC to consoles.
Yeah.
So there's a mission on this game called the Valley of Dolls.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole premise of this mission is there's a guy that is trafficking children. And when you do this mission, there's multiple things that you see that's like, this is some wicked stuff. I mean, there's like, you go in this one room, it's like a red room, and there's pictures of kids hanging on the wall. And it's like when they brought that to console, they were like, we can't show this. We need to change it. So they changed all the pictures from kids to dolls. And I don't think anybody was watching it when it was kids, and it was insinuating something bad. If not, like Shane Gillis says, it's a game for the boys and everybody gets to be heroes. Like Matt asked him, he goes, how does it feel to take the king pedophile out? And he's like, dude, it feels pretty good. So it's like when you limit even stuff like that,
mm-hmm.
It's like it almost makes the purpose feel like it's less. Like it's almost less important.
But, I mean, then there's the question, though. How much importance should you be placing on that? How much of a excitement or a dopamine hit should you be getting from that?
I mean, I don't know.
Because that goes almost directly against what some of the stuff, I mean, you've talked about, like you hear about guys who hunt guys down in real life.
Right.
And when they talk and they speak highly of it, and they're like, yeah, it's like my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people say that they don't think that, that's the best.
That's pretty wicked.
Thing that to be saying, especially to be motivating other young males and men.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's
well,
like that content's pushing the same narrative. Like the amount of people I've heard who played Call of Duty when they were like 12, who joined the army, is like a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
They're like, oh, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And then they do.
Yeah.
And they're like, man, it was not like Call of Duty.
Right. Well, I think it goes back to the other podcast we had to talk about. Obviously, you're going to get some level of dopamine and everything from this game.
Right.
Because, I mean, it's a game. But in the scenario of doing the actual act, it's just you remembering that, and it's hard. I will say it's very hard. Remembering that I'm here to save people and not just kill people.
Right.
And sometimes saving people is stopping somebody bad from ever doing something bad again.
Yeah.
So there is that level.
Well, and so that's why, like yesterday, I was watching The Guild or whatever it's called.
Yes.
And that main guy. So it's kind of funny because me and you texted about it, and I'd watched this first video from them, and there wasn't as much talking, and it wasn't as cheesy, but it was still kind of cheesy because that guy uses an accent.
Yeah.
And so I was like, it's kind of cheesy, but it's not. then I got done talking to you, and I put a different one on while I was getting my stuff ready for the next day. And it was like cheese times 10.
Yeah.
Like this guy, they have a whole mission brief, and he's saying like all this stuff that like, all right, boys, you need to watch out for this and watch out for that, blah, 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 blah.
They're role playing it.
But to the extreme, to me, it was too much, because then I watched them actually play the game, and the role playing part of it wasn't like nothing to do with the actual mission. So, because he was like, watch out for bomb vests, and like they may have civilian hostages and this and that. And then I'm watching, and there was none of that. But he was like treating it that serious, and I could tell some of the other guys weren't like jiving with it. They were like,
because it is a game.
They just blew past him. I know, but that's where it's like you can get almost too crazy. The same thing.
But at what level do you restrict it though? Like at what level is it hurting human integrity than it is? I don't want to necessarily say helping, but
I think the point where it becomes not fun anymore, and it has the point to be detrimental to somebody's mental, emotional, psychological type of toll.
It's a hard line to walk, though.
Is whenever it's like you enjoy it for...
And I understand that's why. I understand for the higher ups how it is hard to figure out the restriction line.
Because, like, I would say, like with GTA, because that seems like an easy example. Like, if you go to play GTA because you want to be a drug dealer and you want to beat people up and steal cars and stuff, it's like, I guess that's good entertainment. Not really. I've been arguing that for some time now, because it is hard to draw that line, like, because I've never even found that game super fun.
Oh, dude, when I used to play it with the boys, I loved it.
So, but that's the thing. Like, if you have a bunch of guys together, same thing like when we all played, like, COD and different stuff like that, or me and you playing Destiny, it's like, I don't know, it's like the teamwork of it and, like, the having fun together.
Yeah.
That's the part that I enjoy, right?
Right.
And so, like, if I just hop online and play by myself, it's like I could care less. And that's why, I don't play.
Yeah.
Anymore, really. So, there's that piece of it. And I just happen to like shooters, like first-person shooters and stuff. That's kind of my thing. But it's not so much that, like I enjoy the competition. I enjoy the playing as a team. I enjoy all that stuff. Like, I'm in it to win the match. I'm not in there to get just to shoot, people. Like, I have my own, like, goals or whatever.
Right.
And I think that's where, like, if you lose that, like if you play GTA because you think it's a fun game and you want to beat the game and you like hanging out with the boys, cool. If that's the only time y'all get to talk and y'all have, like, casual conversation while you're playing, okay, it's a casual game. But if you're on there and your actual intentions are to, like, live out a second life as a drug dealer online, that's probably not good.
Well, see, that's where you have to... And like I said, I don't technically know how you do it.
Same thing with content.
Yeah, because there's real life.
Yeah.
And, then there's other things. And, like, obviously the Kanye thing is real life, but at the same time it's not. Like, nobody is watching that. I don't think many people, probably the same percentage of people that play GTA and then turn into criminals is probably the same amount of people that was watching Kanye West and thinking that Hitler was not that bad.
Well, I can remember when I was growing up, I think I was about middle school, I was playing some Call of Duty, right? And I remember getting a story from my mom. As moms often do, they give you the rundown on why things aren't good for you.
Yep, shout out to John's mom.
Shout out to my mom. But she had, I remember we was playing whatever, she told us a story and was like, remember, like, you live in the real world. That's fake. because a story had come out on the news where a kid shot his friend thinking he's going to respawn.
Right, I remember that.
Dead, you remember that?
I remember that story.
And like he was like dead serious, like on the news. He's like, dude, I thought he was going to respawn.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, dog.
Nah.
That's real life consequences.
That's it.
Like, so, but how do you get to that point? Like, that's the part that I'm struggling with. Like, the people who teetering on that edge of like reality.
I don't know. Something makes you want to. Whether it's something you can't control, or maybe you can, but it's something that makes you so distant from everything that you kind of fall out of the reality.
It's like disconnected.
Yeah,
but at the same time,
and it could be a handful of things, and it might just be one little thing from each little corner that finally builds a square.
But what if you want to be disconnected, and then you just try, like, you're using video games as your escape route?
Well, I don't think that's bad to a certain degree. I mean, because there was a period of time where it was like I had a lot more friends online that I've still never met to this day than I had in real time.
But what about?
I enjoyed those moments, dude.
But what about, like, what I mean is like you play Call of Duty, you shoot your friend, and they come to get you, and you're like, dude, why you arrested me? I didn't know he was gonna die.
Well, now you know. It just is sucky reality after that. So.
You know what I mean?
Because I don't even know, like, if we put a lot on parents here.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, my parents never came in there and told me, like what your mom said.
Yeah.
They never. And I played Modern Warfare 2, the mission where you mow everybody down in the airport.
Yeah.
And it was like, not even one time was I like, this is interesting. Like I was never even
But
there.
did your parents harp on values? And like, did you have like a good base?
Yeah, but
so imagine if you didn't have that. Imagine if your parents weren't parenting you,
right?
And they're like, "Here's this video game."
And then on top of that, we preach. I mean, had Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the things that dead gonna fly. The things that you kind of just have a sense on some things.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was talking about going in a complete 180 here. I was listening to a handful of folks on relationships, and is it okay to never seek a relationship? Is it okay to like the same sex? Is it okay to switch genders and then like the original one you liked before? And all these different things.
Yeah.
And a lot of people make like a lot of Bible-based stuff on it.
Yeah.
And I think it almost gets so deep at that point that it kind of runs backwards from probably the original true reason, which we believe is God, that God created.
Yeah.
But I was actually listening to that guy that was on Joe Rogan, the new Democrat young guy.
The one I sent you?
Yes. I can't remember what his name is.
But
he was talking about to Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
On, I don't know if this was technically how he was saying it because he was saying it in a weird way, but the relationships between a man and a female versus like a man and a woman.
Yeah.
And why he believed that in one section of the Bible it says that a man should not lay with another man, but he doesn't believe that means in like a sexual married way. He doesn't believe that. He believes it means a completely different way, which everybody interprets the Bible different. It takes a lot of studying and trying to sit down and trying to figure out all this other stuff because there's things that I still don't understand.
Right.
But even though I can't fully take Jesus out of the picture, and I'm saying this not just for the relationship deal, I'm saying this for a lot of the ways that I base my life.
Mm-hmm.
If you really just look and understand the way that you feel about different things, I think the answer is just there. Everything that's created ever is meant to work with something else. Now, this mic is meant to work with this cord. If this cord's not here, that mic will not work. If there's a liquid in this and I want it to be cold, or take the cold part out. If I want to drink said liquid, it has to have something to hold the liquid.
Mm-hmm.
It has to have another part of something that works together that seems like it's meant to be right. It seems like it's meant to be right for this water to be in here, and the water's supposed to be in, the ice supposed to be in here to make the thing cold. I generally believe that there is an almost unlockable love that only a woman and a man can find together. I think men have a great time with men. Obviously, the bros are the bros. That's just how it is. And women have a great time with women. And even if you're in a relationship that is more than just a friendship relationship, I think there's still got to be something in your mind that's like, there's a different connection when these two are together. And everything else is just like that. Like say I'm a lamp.
Okay.
And Cammie is the power box. The lamp's not working unless it's connected to the power box.
Yeah.
And if you just look at that with everything out here, that door will not open unless there's hinges on that door that work together. There's things I think that was meant to connect. And I think that's the way that most people should look at everything.
Yeah.
I mean, because even just friendships in total, there's if I need help doing this, there's only one other way that it works, and it's to have normally somebody else there that has that thing. Because I also think there's relationships between the bros that you just can't get with the woman. That's just how it goes. But it's the same reason that you could sit here across this table and even the connection with a woman that you're not like dating. There's something that you're like, take Miranda for instance.
Yeah.
You would, I swear, look me in the eye and say, I would save her before I save you. And there's some instinct in you that's like that. You can say it's God, or you can say it's not. But even if it's not, there's an instinct in you to be like that. And I think that's the thing that most people need to understand about everything that you mess with in life. And then how I will always be biased that God's the one that did it.
Right. I think you got to be careful with the instincts, though. That's why I try not to ever shy away from any types of situations. But at the same time, I try to be very smart. But not everybody's built for that, save Miranda and over Dylan.
They may not be built for
some
it,
people,
but I still
some
believe
people may have a baked-in desire to save their self first. So if there was danger, they might be like, I think I'm out. I'll just let them ride it out.
But that could be. Yeah.
I think that's there too.
I'm saying if it was given a choice.
Yeah.
I think, whether you think it or not, I think you've already made that choice up.
There's a lot of decisions most people have already made.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that, because I do agree with you, don't follow the instinct all the way. Because then, like, I love women. So it's like, You can't just go after all of them.
Right.
Like there is the limit to where you're like,
brother,
probably not it. What?
I seen a lady, and she's going after all the men.
Nice.
I showed the guys today. She was talking to this guy who I think is hilarious. He cracks me up. But he was interviewing her, and she was like, I just love them all. She said, bring them on. And I do mean like sexually.
This Bonnie Blue.
No. It's
No?
the one that's competing with her.
Oh, I thought she was pregnant.
I don't know. It's an older clip, I think. But
Gotcha.
But this guy was interviewing her, and I just seen a short. And she was like, I've never turned anybody down.
That's wicked.
I'm like, and the guy, even the guy on there was like, what?
Yeah, you're going to have a hard time finding a husband.
And she was like, I don't care if guys are fat, skinny, 18 or 80. She said that. Sheesh. All right. So they're out there,
No, I do believe they're out there, but that's letting that's letting it go, like you said, a little bit too far.
Yeah.
That's you're letting it just really run off the rails.
Yeah. I would say so.
That's going to get tough one day.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
that's going to.
What are you going to do, though? You know what I mean?
You're going to pray for that person every day. That's what you're going to do.
So,
and still continue to try to love them.
On the love thing, though, that one's something that's tough because there's so much hate going around right now. Excuse me. That I was talking, once again, shout out to my mom, with my mom, and she doesn't understand how there's so many people who hate other people right now, genuinely. And I think that has become such a, publicized thing. Because I don't think that it is as many as some people believe it is out there, people who are hating other people.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
But
either.
I think that it's so publicized, same problem with everything else, that it's like now it's a major issue when it really isn't. Because people have been hating each other for a long time, okay? Probably since there's people, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But my point to this is like with the ICE and all that going on right now and the roundups, just because you want law and order, now people assume that you hate these other people.
Right.
And it's like, no, I never said I never said that.
That's facts.
And so they're going to put that on you.
Yeah.
And it's like, and there's a bit of a barrier there because they may genuinely believe in their mind that you hate those people and there's no change in their mind.
Yeah.
Even though you may genuinely believe in your mind, I don't hate any of these people. And I want them to be here, actually, doing good for society. But I want them to do it the right way.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's something to be said for that.
Yeah.
But to my mom's point, seeing the people out there who are throwing the hate and just people who are just straight up saying hateful things about Mexican people and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, how can you hate God's children from that? That's her lens,
right.
These are.
I'm with her.
These are your brothers and sisters in Christ.
I'm with you, brother.
So it's like, how could you want to send them away?
But that's not because you hate them, though. It's just because.
But do you love them?
It's the law.
That's what they're. That's the question. A lot of people are putting. It's like you don't love those people, or you wouldn't turn them away.
I love those people as when it comes to the children of God, but I don't know them. Like I don't love them as much as I love you.
Right. Thanks.
So, and I would argue that with anybody. Like nobody loves those people more than their family. That's it. And God literally wants that to be that way. Like you are supposed to love, protect your family more than anybody else. That's like how it's intended to be.
Yeah.
Now I'm not saying that you don't try to help everybody else. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But we used to be in this like weird circle that was like there's an innocent person over here, and then there's like your mom. And they're like, which one are you going to save? And they would try to back you in a corner.
Yeah.
And it's like, my mom. There's no question
Yeah.
about it. It's like, I know her. She raised me. She's the one that gave me these values and all this other stuff. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
Now, if there was no other mom and it was just my chance of, hey, me to try to save this person, then obviously you should probably try to save that person.
So you know the Man of Steel with Henry Cavill?
Of course. Dude's like a baller.
All right, so this is a great story. So here a while back I was talking about that, and somebody had asked me, and I am quick on my decisions. There's certain things in life that I've already thought about and made up my mind.
Yeah.
So that if I was to ever be faced with it, and people they're gonna try and call BS on me.
Of course.
That's fine.
Yeah, of course.
That's fine. But and they hit you with that one. If it's your dad or if it's a random guy and there's a train coming, who you saving? My dad.
Yeah.
If there's a train coming, there's 100 people or your dad, who you saving? Old John didn't hesitate. Old John was crazy. Old John said his dad. Newer John, a little bit more enlightened
Right.
recently. And my dad, this is where the Superman thing's coming into play.
The tornado.
I said, yeah, you knew exactly where this is going.
Such a good movie.
We'd played it out different, right?
Yeah.
And I said, well, I guess the 100, The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, as they say.
Yep.
And there's a lot of other different things I could reference, and I was talking about that with my dad, and he was like, that's what I want to hear,
Yeah, for sure.
And that was one of those moments where it's like, him in the storm, like, it's okay.
It's okay. I'm good.
And it's like, And so now, your dad's okay with it, so now you have to be okay with it.
That's right.
And so you have to make a hard choice and decide for yourself what's okay.
Yeah.
And it's interesting.
You just, and I know we're not supposed to do this, but it all falls back to what you believe in. Like, I'm almost getting to this point now where it's like, keep religion out of like politics. I'm like, I can't do that. All of my morals and values are based off of that. And it's like, and it doesn't mean I hate other religions at all. That's
Right.
That's not what I'm saying. It's saying that this is what I believe from the person that I believe created the universe, and I'm going to try to live these out. And it literally says one in there is like, love all people to the way you love him.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing.
But the argument I've
And I wish
always
people
had,
would like run on that. Like, don't be afraid to say that, because I wouldn't even have a problem if it was like, say somebody was like running for governor or something like that, and they were like a 180 like religion,
yeah,
and they like laid it out and they're like, this is what I believe. I love family. I love this. I love this. If they're genuine, I know they're going to stick by that, versus just being like,
here's where it can be problematic though, that I see,
okay,
is when people are against that, right? So if you come out and you're like, I'm running for this, I'm a Christian, blah, 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 yada, 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 and you're like, I love everybody, but this is who I am, right?
Yep.
And this is what I'm about. And then there's somebody who goes, like, they're like, I'm not voting for you because you believe that.
That's fine.
And they're like, I can't stand behind that because that's not what I believe.
That's fine.
But what if that's the only thing holding them back? What if they like everything else that you stand for?
That's perfectly fine.
They like everything you're doing for the economy, for the community.
Well, then in the end, it literally comes down to.
But to them, that's what they hold most important to their self, and so they're not going to bend.
Yeah, I understand.
But what if
Completely.
instead you didn't like that's not what you're standing on. You say that's who I am.
Yeah.
But that's not what I'm running on. I'm running on these.
Right.
But but if you want to know, here's my bio, This is who I am.
Yeah.
That seems logical. That seems doable. But if you go up there and you tell them, like I'm pushing these things because this is what I believe, then it has the potential to turn people away. I think it has the potential to do more bad. And then the same thing could even go for other people. Imagine a guy goes up there and he's of a different, it doesn't even matter, but, different whatever background or et cetera, and he's a different religion than you.
Mm-hmm.
And theirs believes that Christianity is fake. He doesn't even, he won't even hear you out. Like, imagine he finds out that you're a reporter and you're a Christian. He's like, dude, don't let him in here.
Well, I think that just falls back to the choice of the people. I mean,
but I don't want to be limited to that. I don't want to be labeled.
Well, then don't vote for it.
Because some guy believes that I shouldn't have a voice.
Right. That's just don't vote those people in power. Like if some religion was come up to where it was like Christianity can't talk, or Jews can't talk or something.
Yeah.
And obviously, that's not the guy you need to vote for.
Right, but what happens when they have a following? What happens when there's more of those people than there are of you?
Well, then you only really kind of got two options. I guess technically three.
But my point is, if you don't ever bring it up, then that's never a problem. You see what I'm saying?
No.
So if you keep it separate, then it's then it can't become a problem. Similar analogy.
But my thing is, how do you keep it separate though? Because in the end, it's not to you.
Well, what do you mean? Give me an example of how you can't keep it separate. Because
anything you do, they will always paint you the picture of you're doing that because you're a Christian. And no matter what, you will not do the opposite of that. Like, no Christian's going to run and be like, porn's okay. Because you're obviously not a Christian if
but
you
they
believe
might
that.
they might claim that they're a Christian and say porn's okay.
Well, then they're not a true Christian, though. That's what I'm saying. If we get a genuine person that goes up there,
Yeah.
I would much rather a genuine person of any religion run than a person that's not genuine about whatever.
Okay, but what happens to all the people who think that it's okay? Do you think it's fair to
If it's a democracy, then yes.
restrict them? Yeah, but what happens, though, whenever you're swaying people based on what they believe and not what they think?
Well, that's also why we have other countries.
That's part of the deal, right? Is here you have the ability to choose.
Yes.
So
and you should always have that ability
So if
to
you
choose.
take that away, if you go up and you know that in your state 75% are Christians,
Yeah.
and you run on that, right?
Mm-hmm. You're a genuine Christian?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Because any of the people who use it to gain popularity, which I know all the people who are everybody always hits me with the, well, how do you know? Well, you don't know.
You don't know. You're right.
And that's why I have such a hard time trusting anybody that claims it, because I've seen a lot of people claim it and then do something exactly against it.
Exactly. I'm
So-
with you.
That's one of my problems with it right there, but that's my biggest one. But then let's say you claim it and you're legit, but your goal is going to put somebody else out. It's going to restrict their freedoms. Well, that's the exact opposite of what the United States stands for and what the Constitution stands for.
Well, I think then again it goes back to the whole thing that we got into the Kanye talk with. Is it destructing somebody's life? If you can prove that porn is is destroying lives, then I would argue then that's a bad thing. But I'll also be basing that off of I'm a Christian. That's why.
But you can do that on your own time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but
So
nobody's gonna believe
you can go up there and you can tell them, here's what I'm running on, and say that's it. Boom.
Yeah.
This is my policy. This is what I'm about. That's it.
Yeah.
End of the line.
Right.
Either you agree with the political things that I'm pushing or you don't.
Yes, but what? Okay, so what do you?
So then,
what do you do if somebody comes up to you and says, "Why are you pushing this? Does it have anything to do with your religious background?" What do you say?
if they ask that exact question, then you tell them,
Right.
yes, it does, because I believe in this and yada, yada, yada.
Right.
But otherwise, if they come up and they say, why do you want to do away with porn? Because I think it's bad.
Right.
And they go, okay.
But what if they say, "Why do you think it's bad?"
And you say, because I have these examples right here of how it's destroyed these people's lives.
Yeah, but then the argument is, what about these people that's made so much money from it?
Well, I disagree with that,
It's
because
give people,
I think
it gives people jobs.
because I think it's hurting more people than it's helping.
I think that too.
And that's the narrative you push instead.
Right.
And then if they want to know, does this have anything to do with your beliefs? And you go, yeah, it does. There you go.
But don't you think that's helpful? They make that up front, though.
No. Because
If
I don't.
they- if
Because
they were-
I
if
don't
they
care.
were- if
Because
they
if
were
Vivek
genuine, though.
Ramaswamy
If they were genuine.
won and he believed something else, if he was into Buddhism
Mm-hmm.
or Hinduism,
Yep.
right?
He is a Christian, but yes.
Right. But I'm saying,
Yes.
and I know that's a little bit. I guess you could pin it as being racial, but it's just
No, it's not racist.
take it how you
Yeah.
want to take it. Didn't really. I mean, it's out there now. So, but if he was something other than, hell, if he was Muslim,
Yeah.
then, and he comes out and he says that I'm pushing this because this is what I believe in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, but now what about all the people who don't believe that you've just discounted?
Well, that's it goes back to the three options. You try to run against it, you rise up, or you leave. It's the three options.
Yeah, but that's not fair to force people out just because they don't believe what you believe. People came here because of that.
Right.
Like they're seeking asylum from places that don't allow you to believe that.
Right, but how did that guy get into power, though? So, he got voted in by the people.
Yes.
That, like I said, that's why there's only the three things. If he comes out and says that, then we're all like, it's time to rile up.
I know, but that
Lock and load
But
with the boys.
imagine if, let's say, still on the same one, let's say Vivek comes out and he says, this is all the stuff I'm running on.
Mm-hmm.
And blah, 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 blah. But I believe these things spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you right now, there's some people out there who claim to be hardcore one way or the other.
Yeah, for sure.
And they would say, I am not about that. They're like, I like everything you said until you said that.
I understand, dude. I'm with you.
Then why would you let that hold you back? Because now they're going to have to either bend on their, or break on their most, like, sacred thing.
Yeah.
Which is like their faith. Or stand strong with it and give up all the things that maybe could even help their family.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
So why would you do that? Why would you pick this over being able to have a better economy and help your family? Why would you pick a worse choice? Right? Well, it's only because you don't believe in Hinduism and you think that he shouldn't be in power because...
Then you need to sit back and you need to think about your decisions that you just did. It's like it's the same reason. It's like say.
But imagine it's not like it doesn't even have to be that big because you could even take that down to the granular level.
Mm-hmm.
Say you own a business,
yeah,
and you don't hire anybody that's not a Christian.
Yeah, it's your right to do that.
It is your right to do that as a private business owner.
And the market will show because your business will probably fail because you won't be able to get employees.
But here's the thing, right? Now when you open the doors up and anybody is free to believe what they want
mm-hmm.
and they can come work for you.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing about that. It's all about getting the job done and doing it good, right? Well, it's the same thing with the country. It's all about having a good country and running it right and letting the people be able to believe and say and do the things that they believe in.
No, I'm with you on this.
And
though.
so if that's separate,
But I'm saying, what happens if what happens? Like perfect example, and then we got to get off. Not because we're running out of time, it's because our camera is slowly or fastly losing battery because it's hot and balls. Let's say Bernie Sanders gets a huge following, like he's doing something that convinces people that communism is like the way,
right?
And then we host a legitimate voting thing, and he wins. Obviously, I'm not about communism,
right?
So it goes back to the 3 decisions I want to make. Do I want to try to do something about it in the political way?
Yeah.
Is this one of those moments where you get a team together and you rise up? Or is it one of the moments where you're like, hey, this is not the United States anymore. Like, this is, I'm going to go find somewhere else.
But
and because the people voted him in there. And as a free country, we try to stick by that rule. And once the moment it becomes not free, then...
So what if he runs on communism and Christianity?
I don't think he's going to have a big following.
You'd be surprised.
How, though?
It's similar to what Hitler did. He said, we are better than these other people. We're better than them, period.
Was he a communist?
And he was able...
Was he always considered that?
I mean, I don't think always, but like... I mean, they're towards when he really got the ball rolling. It was pretty much his way or the highway under military rule.
Right. I do agree with that.
But he ran on that Germans are holier and better than these other people, and that they have the rights.
I actually don't think he ran on that. I think he just ran on the Jews were less than everybody else.
No,
I don't think it was...
No, because the Jews, that was technically secret for quite a long time. And then it was kept secret from the world even longer. The world didn't even know he was doing that.
Well, if I was to run, I would run that Americans are the best.
Right, but that's Americans. That's everybody. If you ran, you said Christians are the best. Everybody else sucks.
Everybody else is just not as good.
Yeah, they're second class.
But a true Christian doesn't believe that, though.
But what if
we're all created equal?
What if you're a little bit? What if it's a little bit skewed?
I would say you need to pray a little bit more.
Right, but it's too late for that guy. Like, he already believes it, so there's no praying for him. He believes he's right, and he believes he's doing it for the righteous reason. Well,
then that's when you rise up. That's what I'm saying.
Right, but my point is sometimes it's too late. Like in the Jews' case,
never too late.
It was for them. They'd already been rounded up and locked away in prisons. So there was nothing they could do at that point. And the people that did, they just massacred by the millions.
Yeah, but then we got involved, and now...
Yeah, but we didn't even know it was happening.
Right,
so he was killing millions of people without anybody even knowing.
No, I do.
For a long time.
No, I do understand that, but in the end, the good wins. Like, we stopped the Nazis. I hate that as many people lost their lives as it is, but
like, even me and you've talked about it. Like, he did run on saying that, like, he had like Christian values, and I think the Nazis even tried playing into the fact that there was Teutonic Knights. So, like, I can really get into like some history stuff on this, but we ain't got time for all that. But you had the Knights Templar,
right?
Okay, and they believed that they were taking back the holy city.
Yes.
For God.
Yes.
And they believed that God had told them to do so.
Yes.
Okay, well, then that branched out further into the world.
Right.
And it created these other cultures, like the Teutonic Knights, who were Germans.
Right.
They were only Germans, and they were fighting against, like, Viking-type people who were doing a lot of pillaging and stuff that comes along with that at the time. And so there might have been good causes at that time, but then somebody who has bad intentions was able to twist that and say, look, we come from these people. They were holy.
So...
And we're better than everybody else because of it.
But see, that goes back to you can't in the real world you can't take religion out of everything because What if Hitler really believed that?
Yeah.
Nobody was ever going to tell him he's wrong because he believes that God told him that.
Right, but what if he don't really believe that? What if he's just running on that? And he gets a huge following, takes over,
What?
and then is trying to conquer the world.
How could you create so much hatred over one person if it was not a religious battle?
What do you mean?
I don't see how. What is the foundation you have that makes that one group less than you? Like what are you basing that off of? If it's not religion,
They base it off of their physical characteristics.
just their physical character. See, I don't know if I can believe that though.
They believe the Jews were less than because of, like, literally, some of them is literally because of how they are, right? Like, the Germans only wanted these perfect people, which was pretty much very Germanic traits.
But where did they get the stature of a perfect person?
I think Hitler just come up with it.
Man, I don't know.
And he believes that it was them. He believes they were the best.
I don't know.
At the same time, though, he don't even have to actually believe that. He just has to get everybody else to believe that. And now, all of a sudden, everybody thinks he thinks that, and they all trust him,
Like,
and they're willing to
because
duke it out.
Because my question, the whole thing is, and what's funny is there's going to be some people on here that thinks that I'm saying that like Hitler was not that bad of a guy. I know he was a bad guy. I understand that. I just think for you to be that evil, there has to be some other spiritual thing in play for it to be for that to happen.
I've got my own take on that, but
because what happens?
yeah,
Let's just say this happened. What happens if he succeeded? Like, and there was no more Jews.
yeah.
Like, everybody just gonna be living like just a normal life after that? Like, is he gonna look at all his people and he's gonna be like,
Heck no.
he's gonna be like, guys, we got it done. We did it.
As he captures more, it would be whatever he wanted, whatever he could come up with. That's how it would be. And anybody who pushed the status quo, they just kill him off. That was literally their plan.
But what was the driving force?
World domination.
But say he got it.
Okay. Well, now he's got it.
But what do you do now?
Whatever he wants to do.
He almost did that anyway.
He literally couldn't do. What do you mean?
Like he already anything in Germany he could have done for two different reasons. I mean, literally just because he has the power at this point. I mean, what more was there to get? Like, it's just like we say with money. It's like when you get a certain point of money, like what more is there to get? Like, what's the driving force? Because like if I wanted to take over the world, like once you're there, what was it in the moment if it was not spiritual? For like, what was he getting in the end?
That personal satisfaction of like being number one.
I just don't know.
To be able to sit there and say that I'm above all people alive.
I don't know.
Are you kidding me?
I don't know if I believe
That's
that.
like having a God complex. Because now you literally get to dictate the fate of every person. Because you set all the rules. And you've got people with guns who enforce them.
I know. I don't know if I believe that, but that's where we'll leave the pod. Because I don't know. I think for something to be that big, there's got to be spiritual things at play.
There might, I mean.
So, all right, John Boy, you want to leave the viewers with anything?
Man, I know we got some deep stuff. I'm getting my country voice out a little bit, but
Country voice.
We love you guys.
Yep.
Girls, all of you, friends, family, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe. And go spread some love out there.
Yep.
Be kind. That's all I got.
All right, guys, that has been Skeptics Podcast episode 48, and we are out of this hot as balls little building. Later, guys.
Later.